Caution! You're about to digest a product referred to as the Not So Yucky news. This news product is not recommended for viewers who have an insatiable need to swim in negativity. If after viewing the Not So Yucky news you find yourself developing a strong emotional attachment to it, we recommend doubling or even tripling your dosage. This product contains copious amounts of positive, inspirational, educational, and entertaining occurrences. Side effects from watching this program may include smiling, laughter, optimism, the perception of free flight, and extended periods of giddiness. In some cases, positive cerebral development was noted in non-laboratory humans. If care for euphoria longer than 4 hours occurs, share it with a friend. This program does not require a prescription or copay of any kind. Please use flagrantly.
Welcome to the Not So Yucky News here on the Braincasting Company Network at Bally's Hotel and Casino in fabulous Las Vegas. What is the Not So Yucky News? It's news that's not yucky. I am your host, Christina Vitaliano, and today we're going to kick off the headline news with kind of a combo of headline news and Roadside America, because I think you should be the headline news. This is for all the hardworking moms and dads out there and anybody who gets done at the end of the day, no matter what you do for a living, and you sit down and you go, which is probably almost all of us. So I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of combine why we do a Roadside America segment with the headline news, which is you, and explain why I think it's that important. Roadside America to me is just awesome, and I love it, and I would do it. I just kind of would visit anything at any time. So why and how? Well, how do you combine it with everything you do, and why should you do it? Because I think that even though your life should have a plan, because that's important, I think it's also important, if not necessary, to take a brain break every once in a while, or just a silliness break and exhale. So we created a company a long time ago called Monster Mini Golf. Some of you know that that's also us. I actually created that myself. We built the first 5 or 6 we built with our hands. And when you start something, no matter what it is, whether you're having a child or you're starting your own business or you're starting a new job, it's overwhelming and exhausting. So I wanted to balance it out. And we would pile all of our crew, our artists and our construction workers way back then. We kind of did road trips. We had to drive to a place and we didn't take planes. It was all about saving money back then. So we would try to make things fun along the way. And then I also found out through listening to people talk in our crew that one of our artists, and his name is Craig, had a fear of large objects. Weird, but true. Well, come to find out, a lot of Roadside America, which I kind of knew, is large objects and big things. So we started sticking Craig everywhere, and that was our brain break when we were building. And, you know, we'll start with something in a second here. We'll start with the first place. We've been around now for 15 years, and my average day has gone from this cool little place that I created, which was created for fun and ease and not a lot of work, but the product is cool. The people who are building it are working to death. Now I work like 10, 12-hour days every single day, and it's become normal. And this year has been crazy, crazy, crazy. And in the last month or so, I've decided that, this is kind of like Pretty Women. I feel like Richard Gere. You just need to stop once in a while and enjoy nothing, just fun. So here's Craig at his first place. This is where we took him first. This is a billion years ago, or at least it feels like that. It is called Stu Leonard's Dairy Farm, or kind of grocery store, in Norwalk, Connecticut. It's the world's largest dairy store, and it's also one of the 100 best companies to work for. It was started in 1969. The place is massive, and it actually kind of leads you through the entire dairy grocery store one way, kind of like IKEA, except if you buy milk, you don't have to put it together, which is much better than IKEA. So they also have, if you're going to buy your milk, you might as well have a dairy band right above you, because that makes perfect sense, right? And as you're shopping for other things, you might visit a talking cow, and he might give you some cheese, and there's people in costume, and there's all kinds of music going on. That is way better than your average grocery store, and we're so glad we went. So that was in Connecticut. We moved on from there to a funky and unusual place that we dragged Craig to, and it was a cemetery in Linden, New Jersey. And this place actually has a full-size granite replica of a Mercedes-Benz. Benz. And this belonged, the actual headstone is for a boy named Raymond who passed away in an auto accident before he got his license, so he wasn't driving. And his dream in life was to own his own car. And his older brother, David, had actually promised when he turned 17 to buy him a Mercedes-Benz. Well, I learned that in Chinese culture, and these people were from Chinese heritage, in Chinese culture, this is really cool, that when you promise something to somebody, you are supposed to fulfill that promise. And if they pass away and you haven't fulfilled the promise, well, you're going to do your best to keep that promise going. And this is how we ended up with a $500,000 granite headstone. Pretty amazing. And it's known that to this day, David still visits his brother's headstone every day. Pretty cool. So off we went to Grover's Mill, New Jersey. Yeah, we went to this cool little park in Grover's Mill called Van Ness Park. And the reason we all got dragged there is because in 1938, Orson Welles pulled one of the biggest hoaxes ever. He read a radio adaptation of War of the Worlds the night before Halloween. So October 30th, he gets on the radio and reads to 12 million people that the Earth has been invaded by Mars and Martians. And people actually believed it. And to this day, people still believe that happened. And this is a monument to visit and definitely take a picture, and pretty cool experience, actually. So from there on, off we go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, Stroudsburg, PA area. And if you're going to go to the Hershey, Lancaster area, you know you're going to see a giant Amish man, giant Amish statues everywhere. It's pretty awesome. This in 1969 actually belonged to a diner. The diner has since closed, and then in 2003, the Heritage Center Museum in Lancaster, PA purchased this. They had to give it a couple of, plastic surgery here and there, but now he stands proud and tall, and he's 15 feet of giant Amish man, and you should stop and take a photo. That's all I get to say about that. Head on out to one of the weirdest and most unique things I've ever seen, and I think everybody who was with us that day did the same thing. We had no plans to stop that day. It was actually nighttime. It was getting pretty late, and we were supposed to be somewhere, and traffic had been bad. And we're all driving down the road, and then we go like this. What in God's name is that? Pun intended. So we look out, and this is a 62-foot tall, major bust of Jesus. We're like, oh my God, that's Touchdown Jesus, because honestly, he looks like Touchdown Jesus, doesn't he? This thing was massive, massive. Talk about fear of large objects. We tossed Craig right out there. And unbelievable. Actually, it looks like he's made of butter, like something carved out of butter. Well, here's something interesting. And obviously, take advantage because every day is special. Turns out that about 6 or 7 years ago, Touchdown Jesus was struck by lightning and burned down. So there is no more Touchdown Jesus. So, can't take any more photos. Maybe he'll rise again. I don't know. Anyway, onwards to Kent, Ohio. We visited Mike's Place, which is a restaurant with an actual X-Wing fighter outside the restaurant. Total mom and pop, awesome place, hardworking entrepreneurs, great staff, school bus outside that serves alcohol, can't beat that. And if you're in Kent, Ohio, you have to go. End of story. From there, we headed into Cleveland, Ohio. And if you got to go to Cleveland, Ohio, you have to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's 150,000 square foot of rock. Just plan on spending like 2 to 3 hours there. Pretty awesome place. But if you like music, go. That is all. Then we got to the place that I wanted to see. This is free to see, very unique, and it is a massive free rubber stamp sitting on its side in Cleveland, and I believe it is Willard Park. I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, giant free stamp. Well, this stamp was originally commissioned in 1982 by Standard Oil Company of Ohio, and the sculptors chose the word free because they thought it stand for liberty and the freedom of the slaves after the Civil War. Well, hey, listen to this. BP and then bought it, and they decided that, well, it doesn't. They thought that it was kind of a slam on corporate culture, and it was sarcastic. All this fake news. It's crazy. So that was the first thing of fake news. Anyway, so what happened after that, it sat in storage for years and years and years. There was actually a place to store this thing. I can't even imagine what it cost. So eventually everybody came to agreement that this stamp belongs sitting on its side in the park for people to see and take free photos with and remember it however they want. Pretty cool stamp. Go visit it. So we, to this day, have gotten away from Roadside America because life has taken over and we're just working, and I miss it a lot, and I think that everybody deserves to just take a break once in a while. And whether you're in Ohio or you're in New Jersey or it doesn't matter, I'll bet you no matter where you are, there is a giant piece of food somewhere. I don't care where it is in the entire world. There's a giant piece of food. Just get out, take a picture, exhale, and have some fun. That's you today on the headline news. Enjoy it. At this point, maybe we need some world advice as well.
Hey!
Hi everyone, my name's Ava, I'm 11 years old, and I know things. Welcome to Ava's Advice. I'm here again in my father's kiss room. Behind me are a bunch of kiss dolls. Excuse me, action figures. My dad said you can't call them dolls because he doesn't collect dolls. He collects action figures. Anyway, thanks everyone who sent in questions. So now let's read some. This is a great question. Dear Ava, my mom told me that when she was a little girl, her phone was attached to the wall in her house, and everyone in the family had to share it. Is my mom lying to me? Thanks for setting the record straight, Sarah. Sarah, my mom told me the same exact thing. And I did some research on a phone that's not attached to the wall. And what I learned was, yes, long ago, phones were attached to the wall with wires. I don't even know how people got things done. So, your mom is not telling lies. Mason sent this one. Dear Ava, you're kind of cute. I'm 12 years old and I get good grades. Would you consider going out with me on a date? Well, Mason, I started a new school this year, and there's this boy who walks me to class every day. So, I think it's getting kind of serious. But don't worry, because if you keep getting good grades, you'll find love, just like me. Moving on to the next question. Cooper writes, Dear Ava, my brother and I always argue over silly things. I love him, but I know I'm right. How do I stop arguing? Well, Cooper, that's a... Zach! Anyway, well, Cooper, that's a great question because me and Zachary, I'm trying to work here. As you can see, I have a brother too, and I don't know. Good luck. That's all the time that we have for today. If you have any questions and need some advice, email me at ava@braincastinglive.com. All the information you need is on the screen below. Now remember, I'm Ava, and I know things.
Thanks, Ava. Well, a couple of things to say there. One, I'm with you. Those are kiss dolls. Two, kind of cool that you get to go into that room that nobody's allowed in. And, well, again, thank you for all that worldly advice. You're fun.
Time now for your Weekend Funky Forecast. I'm Martiologist Martin Farrell, and we are at Monster Mini Golf somewhere on the eastern seaboard. What does that mean to you? It means you have to figure it out because this could be your weekend forecast. Let's get right to it. Take a look at Friday. Lots and lots of clouds all day long. No glimmers of sunshine. Very humid 73 degrees for your high temperature. In stark contrast, forecast inside Monster Mini Golf is cool. Going into Saturday, A little bit of sunshine showing its face during the day, but mainly cloudy skies all day long. A little less humid, 73-degree temperature for your high. And wind speeds 10 to 15 miles per hour, optimum for winged beasts like my friend here. Forecast inside Monster Mini Golf, elevating. Moving over to Sunday, we're back to full cloud cover, kids. And a little bit chillier, 67 degrees for a high, less humid during the daytime. It'll become increasingly more humid as you move towards evening because there are some showers set in the forecast for late Sunday evening. Wind speed still clipping along at 10 to 15 miles per hour, optimum for, once again, flying creatures or those of us who like to simulate flight. To fly. What do I need? I need wind speed, which we have. I need a kite, which I seem to have. Equipment check. And string. Excellent. Thank you. So, forecast inside Monster Mini Golf. Captivating. Overall quality quotient for the weekend, only 4 out of 10. Before we take off from Monster Mini Golf, I want to say hi to General Manager Jennifer. Jen, fly on in here. And off she wings away. That could be your weekend funky forecast. I'm audiologist Martin Farrell. Back to you, Barbara.
Thanks, Jethro, and thanks for that random weather from somewhere. I need some creativity. Well, if you're like me, all of your VHS tapes or anything in tape form has long since been tossed in the trash. Well, Lucas has found someone that kept all of that stuff and is doing something pretty neat.
Thanks, Christina. Hey, this is Luke, guest reporter in Las Vegas for Creatively Earning. We're here with Haley Summers in Wolverhampton, UK. Hey, Haley.
Hi, Luke.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am doing good. Another great day here in Las Vegas. So we're here to talk a little bit about your Etsy store, Nancy's Jars, and the artwork you sell, which is VHS lamps and cassette tape portraits. Can you tell us how you kind of fell into that and how you got started doing this?
Yeah, sure. So I've always loved upcycling. So I started upcycling quite a lot of furniture, and I've always been creatively minded. I used to be a window dresser for a department store for a number of years. So at Christmas, we were getting all our Christmas decorations from the loft, and there were some VHSs there, and also some Christmas lights. And I was looking for some kind of special present for my boyfriend's Christmas present, and decided to make something myself.
Beautiful. You said upcycling. Can you explain that term a little bit?
Yeah, so upcycling is basically making something out of someone's rubbish. So something that someone is going to throw away, making it into more of a usable item.
Has that something that has been a passion of yours even prior to starting this shop?
Yeah, I get that from my dad. He's always picking up rubbish, trying to make it into something lovely.
As a creative entrepreneur, what would you give advice-wise to people maybe timid to jump into a creative career?
Oh, there's nobody more timid than me before I started. And the fear sort of never goes away. And I don't think any artist can ever say that they're 100% comfortable just doing it and just relying on it. But you just get used to it, and it's great. But as long as you've got a passion and you do something that you love, I don't think you can go wrong.
Do you have maybe a portrait or one of the VHS lamps with you we could see?
Of course, yeah. So this is David Bowie. I finished this one the other day. That's a brand new one there.
That's stunning. I love it. And the hair is made from the cassette tape.
Yeah, sure. So it looks like the cassette tape is coming out of the tape, and then it goes around the hair.
That's gorgeous.
And then I've actually made you guys a lamp, which I'm going to send over to you.
Really?
Which is this one.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
You see that there?
Oh, Haley, I love that. So this is something that you
cool.
pursue full time then, right?
Yeah, I do it full time now, and it takes up a lot more time than a full-time job now, because obviously the internet's open 24 hours a day. And I ship a lot internationally as well, over to you guys in America. So the time difference can sometimes be a little bit of a pain. So a lot of the time I'm answering questions and helping people still on an evening. To be honest, I just take each day as it comes. So I don't know how long people are going to love VHS lamps or love set tape art, but if they do, is another bonus for me.
You mentioned the internet is open 24 hours a day, and I think that's so important for people to understand. Can you explain kind of the importance of social media to your business and how it helps?
Yeah, literally no one would know who I was and what I sell without it. I like to try and keep my Instagram as up to date as possible with all my new things and my new designs, because I do a lot of artwork on the VHSs as well with spray paint and different other medias. So without Instagram and the internet, I definitely wouldn't have a business.
You mentioned earlier that you were a window dresser. When you were doing that for that period of time, was this always something in the back of your mind that you kind of wished you had the time to pursue or were hoping one day to jump into?
Yeah, always. I'd always sort of dreamed of upcycling something that I could get, which people wanted to throw away and make it into something brilliant. But as you said there, I just never had the time. My job involved working away quite a lot up and down the country. So I didn't have really time for a social life, let alone any other kind of business.
I see a lot in your artwork a theme of music and horror films. Are those two other passions of yours?
Yeah, horror film wise, I used to watch a lot of 80s horror films with my parents when I was younger. The first horror film I ever watched was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I really used to love the feeling of adrenaline when I was watching them.
So your Etsy store's name is Nancy's Jars. How did you get that name?
So I started making candles around probably 3 Christmases ago. I started making some Christmas candles. And I started selling, that's why I opened an Etsy store, was to sell the candles. And then the VHSs just sort of took over. And my dog is named Nancy. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm called Nancy, but it's actually my dog.
Well, thank you again, Haley Summers. You've been such a pleasure to speak to today and such an inspiration for so many people. Your artwork is incredible, and we're so glad that everything's going so well with it. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's definitely creatively earning. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Lucas. And Haley, I love your art, and it's actually really affordable, so cool holiday gifts. All right, now it's time to give away a $300 party pass to the Monster Mini Golf of your choice. And if you don't know what we're doing and why we're doing this, well, this is where we pay it forward, and you can enter to win a $300 party pass to any Monster Mini Golf of your choice by going to monsterminigolf.com/party pass. That easy. Doesn't cost anything to enter. You can be from anywhere. Every 2 weeks, we will give away $300 right here to any Monster Mini Golf of your choice. Birthday party, corporate event, team building. We don't care how you use it. $300 for you. So we do this by taking all of the names that have entered in the last 2 weeks and we put them in this really cool little system called a randomizer. We call it the Glozo randomizer. And what we do is we dump all the names in there, and our cool tech team makes it work and goes, and I'm going to count down from 5 to 0, and bam, we're going to have a party pass winner today. So you guys ready? Because here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is Phillip Barry. Woo! Phillip Barry. Woo! You deserve a little high five. I bought this. This is the coolest thing ever. A little high five. Anyway, Phillip Barry. That is you. You'll get a $300 party pass to the Monster Mini Golf of your choice. That is awesome. Next up, we have a new segment called Tomorrow's Grown-Ups. This is where we get to chat with the kids of our future.
You can't know me away, I'll keep crawling back. I'm sorry, I can't help you step on my back. So you can get yourself to the top. I'll never stop, no.
Hi, I am Sienna Hernandez, and welcome to Tomorrow's Grown-Ups on the Not So Yucky News. This segment is where I introduce you to ordinary kids doing extraordinary things. Today we are featuring Not Your Girlfriends, an all-girl band that rocks. Let's meet the band. When I say your name, tell us your age and what instrument you play. Liv?
I am 13 years old and I sing and play guitar.
Marin?
I'm 14 years old and I do drums and backing vocals.
And Gigi?
I'm 12 years old and I play the bass.
They are so young but yet so good at the instruments they play. Marin, how long have you guys been playing together?
So of course we've been like playing on our own for years, but as a band we've been together for almost 2 years, which just seems crazy.
Yeah, it seems like a long time. Gigi, what bands have inspired you since you've been in Not Your Girlfriends?
Well, I think the band that inspired me most was Paramore because it was the first band that we've ever saw together, and it's just like they're so inspiring for us. It's like awesome.
That's a good band, and I know that you guys play one of their songs. Don't you?
Yes, we do. Mystery Business.
I have that song downloaded on my phone. Oh, that's cool. Liv, I know that you do most of the songwriting. So when you do write a song for Not Your Girlfriends, what is your inspiration?
Well, usually I'll experience an extreme emotion, like say someone like makes me really mad, or I get really excited about something and I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna go upstairs, grab my guitar and write a song about it. There's not usually ever a time that I'm just like, I'm gonna write a song, because it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah.
So that's how I write a song.
Don't push a song out of you, and you now have that from a lead singer in a band. So, some good advice right here.
Thanks.
Now we have a serious question. You're stranded on an island, all alone,
Oh my god.
and you could only have one thing. What would the one thing be?
Probably my phone, because it has everything that I need on it. I can record songs on it, and I can be on Instagram looking at how happy other people are, crying myself to sleep. And I can call people and maybe call my mom and my friends. That's so sad. It is sad. We're stranded on an island. Okay.
You can call me if you need any help. Maren, what would you bring?
I'd probably bring like something that I can like listen to music on, but I don't have to like charge constantly, because if I don't listen to music, I would probably go insane. Or if it's possible, you know, I would bring the band with me, so.
That sounds like a good thing to bring, because you will have company.
Yeah.
Gigi, what would you bring?
I would bring video games because it's a big part of my life. Like the stories are just so good. I start crying. It's just so good. Oh, yeah.
It's just a magical experience.
It's magical.
Great.
Yeah.
If a kid wanted to start a band, what advice would you give them?
I would say practice hard every single day. And if you're just a singer, then go to open mic nights and try and just get some experience. And if you have friends that like play instruments or friends that sing, you should just ask them, hey, you want to be in a band? And then you should go play some venues.
Now that's another part of good advice. 2 in a row. Good job, Liv. Maren, what do you do in your free time besides the band?
Well, like in my free time, I either do like drawing or soccer, or I listen to musical theater, because I'm actually like a big musical theater nerd.
Gigi, if you wanted to tell someone something that they didn't know about you, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that I have a wall of Pokemon cards. We're working on it. It's not full yet, but it's halfway done.
Work in progress.
It's work in progress. Yes. Yes.
Wow, that sounds like a good thing to tell someone.
Yes.
What is your guys' favorite song that you've performed?
Well, does that mean a favorite song that was released last month that you can look at on YouTube? Well, we have a song called Warped. You should check it out. It's all about how we are so excited to be on the band's Warped Tour.
That's a good song. You guys should go check it out.
Thank you. Yes, you should. You should.
Everything we do, it all goes back to you, so please carry on. And all I wanna do is find a simple tune and sing it all night long. And now I'm waiting, always waiting. I want you to love me.
If you guys could be an animal, what animal would you be?
I would be a lap dog, because then I can just sit on my owner's lap like all the time, and I can get human food, and I can get all the hugs and kisses.
I mean, I know this isn't like exactly an animal, it's more like a mythical creature, but I would be a unicorn. Like, I mean, I feel like that just fits my personality.
Yes, I would be a cat because they're lazy and they sleep all day, and they're cute and fluffy, and they get to choose who they love or not.
Oh my gosh.
And they still love
And they would
cats.
still love
Yeah.
me because I'm adorable.
That sounds like some good animals. Now, I'm sad to say that that's all the time that we have for... What is this? Okay. I'm dropped it. Let's be more careful. This last question is from my boss, Bob John Chicken. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that this was happening.
It's okay.
He told me to ask you, what is the smelliest thing you've ever smelled?
Live.
Okay.
101.
Oh my guys. Cut the tape. That's okay. I think that's all that needs to be said
that will end it?
for that.
That's not what I was expecting.
I'm Sienna Hernandez for Not So Yucky News. And if you want to be featured on this Not So Yucky News show, then email us at kids@braincastinglive.com. Once again, that's kids@braincastinglive.com. And don't forget to check out their social media. It will be down below.
Yes.
So go follow them to see more of them. I'm Sienna Hernandez for Not So Yucky News. Check you later. Back to you, Christina.
Wow, those girls rock. And speaking of rock, well, it's time for the Love of Rock. This is where we give away a pair of concert tickets to somebody out there in the world to go see the show of their choice. How do you be considered? Well, go to braincastinglive.com/love of rock. That easy. You can be from anywhere in the world. It does not matter. All you have to do is go to braincastinglive.com/love of rock. Tell us who you want to go see, where you want to see them, when you want to see them, and why. And then I go through the emails every few weeks and I figure out, well, who deserves to go see the concert of their choice. This week, somebody is going to see Kiss in Melbourne, Australia next year. Yep, Kiss. Well, the letter said, Dear Not So Yucky News, I know this will be the very last opportunity I have to see Kiss live because 1, I have a kidney disease, and 2, I just heard that this upcoming tour will be Kiss's last tour ever. It would mean the world to me to go see Kiss in Melbourne, Australia. Sincerely, Callan Delivegan? Well, guess what, Callan? You are going to see Kiss next year in Melbourne, Australia, and you're going to be able to take your wife and your little boy, too. So the whole family, head on out to see Kiss on their last tour next year. That's a legendary concert you're about to go see. Now we come up on our time of the show where it's the end. And we do an end time story. So in your life, I think everybody has times when they don't know whether they're coming or going. And it takes an awful lot for some of us to get our ducks in a row. I know I have that problem at times. Well, somebody has come up with a really cool way that'll help us organize all of that stuff. And the book is called Get Your Shit Together. Yep, just get to the point. This is a funny book, and the author has written a kind of a cool intro about what the book is about. So I'm going to read you a little excerpt from the author, okay? So she writes, it's more of a let me help you help yourself help book with me here to help you when yourself gets in the way. Let's face it, if you could help yourself, you'd have done that by now, right? Very true. Also, unlike many traditional self-help authors, I'm going to use the word shit 332 times, including several shitmentaneous versions of my own. So please do not go on Amazon saying you were expecting sunshine and kittens and got shitstorms and shittens. Well, there you go. That explains part of that. Anyway, so what is this book about? Well, I think of it as a delightfully profane one-stop shop for tidying your mind and making your life easier and better. Well, if a book's going to make my life easier and better and I'm going to laugh and have fun reading it, that's a pretty good book to have. You can find it on Amazon.com, and it is by Sarah Knight, and it's called Get Your Shit Together. Well, we are actually at the end of the show now, and we're going to end this with something kind of fun because I got to show you something so cool. It's so cool. All right, so I had a birthday this week, and you know, when you're married for a long time, you kind of run out of birthday gifts to get from each other, so you start to get creative. But my husband knows me really well, and he got me a me. Check this out. This is a me Muppet. Yeah, this is like a me Muppet. You can have a Muppet made of you. Coolest thing ever. Not so sure he wants 2 of me around, but that's why she's here. And we're gonna learn a lot more about me Muppets. Except I don't know how to talk and do that whole ventriloquist thing, so maybe, I'll learn that. But anyway, that's about the coolest thing ever. And you are looking to find us in 2 weeks. We are back. You can find us on braincastinglive.com. You can find us on Facebook Live at Braincasting Live. You can find us on YouTube at The Braincasting Company. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us on Etch-a-Sketch. And if you can only hear us, you just need crayons and you can imagine the whole thing. It's really that easy. So we'll see you in 2 weeks, and we're going to be back, and we're going to talk more about you. Isn't that cool? It is cool, and we think it is. So, yay!